Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Timeless Wisdom, the place where we simplify, safeguard and enhance life at home, one small step at a time. Now tell me this, have you ever walked into your bathroom and wondered, why do I have so much stuff? Old shampoo bottles, half-used soaps, expired medicines, and let's not even mention that pile of towels you've planned to replace for years. It's curious how items just seem to accumulate overnight, isn't it? But here's the reality. A cluttered bathroom is not only messy, it can be frustrating and even unsafe. As we age, it's crucial that our living spaces become easier to manage, not more challenging. So today, we're going to eliminate 15 unnecessary items from your bathroom. Some might surprise you, and believe me, you'll feel incredibly lighter once they're gone. So grab a trash bag and a donation box, and let's tackle this together. And hey, if you enjoy useful tips like these, don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom so you never miss our future videos. All right, are you ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. Soap slivers. Those tiny soap slivers, time to let go. All right, my friends, let's start with something small. Those little soap slivers. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That tiny wafer-thin piece of soap that clings to the corner of your soap dish, refusing to dissolve completely. Maybe you stack them up, pressing them together in hopes of creating a new bar. Maybe they become a permanent fixture in your shower, hanging on for dear life. Now, I know we were raised with the mindset of waste not, want not. And believe me, I respect that. But let's be honest, how many times have you actually used those slivers all the way to the end? More often than not, they either get stuck in the drain or just sit there, collecting dust, hair, and who knows what else. Here's a simple fact. If something is no longer serving its purpose, it's clutter. And clutter, especially in a small space like the bathroom, makes cleaning harder and can even pose a safety risk. The National Institute on Aging reminds us that wet, slippery surfaces are one of the leading causes of falls at home. So the last thing we need is a slippery, half-melted soap piece underfoot. If you're feeling a little guilty about tossing them, here's a simple trick. Gather them in a small mesh bag and use it as a gentle scrubber for your hands or feet. This way, you're still making use of every last bit, but without the mess. But if you've got more soap slivers than you know what to do with, it's time to say goodbye and start fresh. A clean, solid bar of soap will not only feel better in your hands, but will also make your bathroom look tidier and more inviting. All right, that's one thing down. Ready for the next one? Stay with me because the next culprit is something we're all guilty of hoarding. Tiny, travel-sized toiletries. Number 2. Travel toiletries. The travel-sized toiletries collection you'll never use. Now, my friends, let's talk about those tiny travel-sized toiletries. You know, the little shampoos, conditioners, and lotions that seem to multiply every time you stay at a hotel. They're cute, they're convenient, and let's be honest, there's something satisfying about bringing them home just in case. But let me ask you, how many of these have you actually used? Be honest. For most of us, the answer is not nearly as many as we've collected. That drawer full of mini bottles? It's not a travel kit. It's a clutter drop. Here's the reality. We don't travel as often as we think we do. And when we do, most of us prefer to bring our own trusted products, not whatever generic shampoo the hotel provided. Plus, those tiny bottles, they expire. If you've had them sitting around for years, chances are they're no longer good. And let's not forget, these single-use plastics are terrible for the environment. Many hotels are even phasing them out in favour of refillable dispensers. So if the hotels are moving on, maybe we should too. So what's the solution? Keep only what you'll actually use and donate the rest to local shelters. Many of them appreciate travel-sized toiletries for those in need. And for future trips, invest in a set of refillable travel bottles and fill them with your favourite shampoo, conditioner and lotion. That way, you're using products you love while cutting down on waste. All right, that's another clutter culprit tackled, But don't put that trash bag away just yet, because next we're taking a hard look at all those almost empty bottles in your shower. Number 3, empty shampoo. The last drops of shampoo, let it go. All right, my friends, let's talk about those almost empty shampoo and soap bottles sitting in your shower. You know the ones I'm talking about, the bottles you tilt, shake, squeeze and even add water to, all in a heroic effort to get that last little bit out. Now don't get me wrong, I admire a good effort to use things up, but let's ask ourselves, at what point are we just rinsing our hair with scented water instead of actually cleaning it? We all grew up in an era where wasting things was unthinkable, and for good reason. But here's the thing, holding on to these nearly empty bottles doesn't actually save you money. In fact, it just clutters your shower, makes it harder to clean. And let's be real, how much product are we actually getting in those final desperate pumps? And if you're keeping these bottles around thinking, I'll finish them later, let's be honest. When was the last time you actually did? More often than not, they sit there for weeks or even months, gathering grime and soap scum. So here's my advice. You get one last bonus use. That's right, one final wash, one last pump. After that, recycle it and move on. A clean, clutter-free shower isn't just more pleasant, it's also safer. Fewer bottles mean fewer things to trip over. The CDC tells us that 1 in 4 people over the age of 65 falls each year, and slippery showers don't help. So be kind to yourself, declutter the old bottles, make room for fresh ones, and enjoy a cleaner, safer bathroom. And speaking of clutter, next we need to have a serious talk about all those sample-size skincare products you've been holding on to for years. Number 4, skincare samples. The sample-size skincare stash you'll never use. All right, my friends, let's take a little trip to your bathroom cabinets and drawers. Be honest, how many tiny packets of skincare samples are hiding in there? Maybe you got them as a free gift at the beauty counter. Maybe the store assistant slipped them into your bag with a big smile, saying, "You're going to love this," and you thought, "Sure, why not? I'll try it later." But later never came, did it? Months, sometimes years, go by, and those little packets and tiny jars just sit there. They get shuffled around, tucked into drawers, and eventually forgotten. And let's be real, are you really going to experiment with a random new eye cream at this point? Here's the truth. Skincare products expire. That fancy moisturizer sample from 3 years ago? It's likely lost its potency, and worse, using expired skincare can cause irritation, breakouts, or even allergic reactions. So let's be smart about this. If you haven't used it by now, you probably never will. If you tried it once and didn't love it, why are you keeping the rest? Let it go. If you have samples of products you already use and love, great. Organize them neatly so they're easy to grab when traveling. And for the future, next time someone offers you a sample, think before you say yes. Will you really use it, or will it just become another clutter culprit? All right, that's one more step toward a cleaner bathroom. But hold on, because the next thing on our list is expired sunscreen, and trust me, this one is more important than you think. Number 5, expired sunscreen. It's not protecting you. All right, my friends, let's talk about sunscreen, one of those things we know we should use, but maybe don't check as often as we should. Now, I want you to think about the bottle sitting in your bathroom cabinet. How old is it? If you're squinting at the label trying to find the tiny expiration date, chances are it's been there a while. Here's something many people don't realize. Sunscreen expires. It's not like lotion or shampoo that just loses its scent over time. Expired sunscreen loses its ability to protect you from harmful UV rays. So that bottle from 2 summers ago? It's basically just an expensive moisturizer now, and not a very good one. And let's not forget, our skin becomes more delicate as we age. Studies from the Skin Cancer Foundation show that older adults are at higher risk for skin damage and skin cancer, simply because of a lifetime of sun exposure. If we're using expired sunscreen, we're not protecting ourselves at all. So let's keep it simple. Check your sunscreen's expiration date today. If it's past, toss it. Going forward, buy sunscreen in reasonable amounts. That giant bottle might seem like a deal, but if it lasts 3 years, it's wasted money. Need a new one? Get a pack of fresh sunscreen at Costco or your local pharmacy. They often sell them in multi-packs, so you can keep one in the bathroom, one in your bag, and even one in the car. Remember, guessing isn't an option when it comes to skin health. Protect yourself the right way, because we deserve to enjoy the sunshine without the risks. Now, speaking of outdated things in our bathrooms, let's take a look at those old medicine bottles and expired pills that are just taking up space. 6. The towel that's older than your car. Number 6. Old towels. All right, my friends, let's take a moment to talk about something we use every single day. Our towels. Now be honest with me. How old are your bath towels? If you're thinking, well, I think I bought these back when my grandkids were in diapers, then, my friend, it's time for an upgrade. We all have that one towel, the one that's faded, fraying at the edges, and rougher than a scouring pad. Maybe it used to be plush and fluffy, but now it feels like you're drying off with a piece of cardboard. Here's the thing. Towels don't last forever. Over time, they lose their absorbency, trap bacteria, and frankly, just don't feel nice anymore. According to textile experts, most bath towels should be replaced every 2 to 3 years. But let's be real, most of us are holding on to towels that are way past their prime. And I get it. Old habits die hard. We were raised to make things last, but there's a difference between being resourceful and hanging on to things that no longer serve us. So what should we do with all towels? Don't just throw them away. Give them a second life. Animal shelters and rescues are always in need of towels for bedding and cleaning. Call ahead and see if they're accepting donations. Or use them as rags for cleaning windows, floors, or even your car. Keep a couple for emergency use, but just a couple. No need to fill an entire closet with old towels, just in case. And when it's time to buy new ones, look for soft, absorbent towels that will actually last. I always say, treat yourself to good towels. It's one of life's simple luxuries, and honestly, we deserve it. All right, let's keep going, because next up, we're tackling something that might be lurking in your medicine cabinet right now. Expired pills and empty bottles. Number 7. Hair tools. The forgotten hair tools. Time to let go. All right, friends, let's take a peek under the bathroom sink, or inside that drawer you haven't opened in a while. Do you see them? The curling irons, the straighteners, the crimpers. Yes, I said crimpers. Remember when those were all the rage? Once upon a time, we bought these tools with the best of intentions. We thought, I'll style my hair more often, or I need this for special occasions. But if we're being honest, how often do we actually use them? Now, for many of us, our hair routine has simplified over the years, and that's a good thing. Maybe we've embraced our natural waves. Maybe we found a low-maintenance style. Or maybe our hands just don't have the same dexterity they used to. And that's okay, but those old hair tools, they're just collecting dust. If you haven't touched a hair tool in over a year, ask yourself, does it still work? If it's broken or overheats, it's time to recycle it properly. Do I really need it? If you only use one tool regularly, why keep 3 others? Can someone else benefit from it? Women's shelters and charities often accept gently used hair tools for those in need. Decluttering these forgotten gadgets will free up space and make your bathroom more functional. And who knows, someone out there is looking for exactly what you're holding on to. All right, we're making great progress. But next, let's talk about something many of us are guilty of keeping: old medicine bottles and expired pills. Number 8. Expired meds. Trust me, you don't want these cluttering up your space. 8. Expired medications and empty bottles, a hidden health hazard. All right, my friends, this one is serious. Let's talk about expired medications. When was the last time you went through your medicine cabinet? If you're like most people, there's a good chance you have expired pills, half-used prescriptions, and empty bottles taking up space. And here's the thing, medications don't last forever. Once they expire, they lose their effectiveness, which means they may not work the way they're supposed to. But even worse, some medications can become dangerous over time. The US Food and Drug Administration warns that certain expired drugs can change chemically and may even be toxic. That's not something we want to take a chance on. And here's another important point. Never toss old medication straight into the trash or flush it down the toilet. Some medications can contaminate water supplies, and others could be found by children or pets. So what's the right way to get rid of them? Check the expiration dates today. If it's expired, it's got to go. Use a medication disposal program. Many pharmacies and community centres have drop-off locations where they'll safely dispose of old prescriptions. If there's no take-back program nearby, follow FDA guidelines. Mix pills with an unappealing substance, like coffee grounds or kitty litter. Seal them in a plastic bag and dispose of them in the trash. And those empty bottles? Unless you're reusing them for travel or storage, they're just clutter. Recycle them or toss them. A clean medicine cabinet means less clutter, less confusion, and a safer home. All right, we're on a roll. Now let's move on to something that always seems to pile up. Hair ties, clips, and all those little accessories that seem to multiply on their own. Number 9, hair ties, clips, old hair ties and clips. The tiny clutter we never notice. All right, my friends, let's talk about something small, but surprisingly clutter-causing. Hair ties, clips, and all those little accessories we never seem to get rid of. Now, I don't even have to look. I already know you've got a drawer, a cup, or maybe even a whole bag full of stretched out, broken or mismatched hair ties. Some of them barely have any elasticity left. Others snap the moment you try to use them, and yet we never throw them away. Why? Because we think, I might need this one day. But let's be honest, if that hair tie has been sitting at the bottom of a drawer for the last 5 years, you probably aren't reaching for it anytime soon. Here's a quick fix. Take 5 minutes and do a quick purge. Keep the ones that still work. Get rid of the stretched out, frayed, or broken ones. If you have way too many, donate the extras. Women's shelters often accept hair accessories, and schools or community centres might appreciate them too. Decluttering these little things makes a bigger difference than you think. Less mess in your drawers means easier mornings, less frustration, and a tidier bathroom. All right, we're making great progress. Now let's move on to something that might be taking up more space than it should. All those extra bath products you've been holding on to for years. Number 10. Hotel toothbrushes. The collection of free hotel toothbrushes, just in case or just clutter. All right, my friends, let's have an honest moment. How many free toothbrushes have you brought home from hotels over the years? We all do it. You check out of a hotel, see the complimentary toothbrush, mini toothpaste, and maybe even a tiny comb, and think, this could come in handy one day. So you take it home. But let's be real. How many of these just-in-case toothbrushes have you actually used? Most of the time, they sit in a drawer for years, never getting touched. Meanwhile, every time you open that drawer, you're rummaging through old, forgotten hotel freebies, looking for something you actually need. Here's the simple truth. If you haven't used them in a year, you probably never will. So let's make some space. Keep 1 or 2 for emergencies. Maybe stash them in a travel bag or guest bathroom. Donate the extras. Homeless shelters and community centres often welcome unused toothbrushes and toiletries. Donate the extras. If they're old, toss them. Toothbrush bristles break down over time, so if you wouldn't use it yourself, don't keep it. Clearing out these little items may not seem like much, but trust me, It makes your bathroom feel lighter, cleaner and more organised. All right, let's keep this momentum going. Next up, those extra bath sponges and loofahs that have been sitting around way too long. Number 11. Beauty samples. The mystery drawer of beauty samples. Time to face the truth. All right, my friends, let's talk about that mystery drawer in your bathroom. You know the one. It's filled with tiny beauty samples from department stores, Sephora, or those free gift with purchase promotions. At the time, they seemed exciting. A little jar of fancy moisturizer, a packet of luxury serum. Why not? You told yourself, I'll try this later. But later never came, did it? Instead, those little samples piled up, and now they're just clutter. Tiny bottles, packets and tubes you haven't even opened, some of which expired years ago. Here's the truth. If you haven't used them yet, you probably never will. If you tried one and didn't like it, why are you keeping the rest? If they're expired or dried out, they're useless. Toss them. And let's be honest, at this stage in life, we know what works for our skin. If you've already found a moisturizer or a foundation you love, why experiment with something that might irritate your skin? So let's be clear, out that drawer. Keep only what fits into your routine and donate or toss the rest. Feels good, doesn't it? And speaking of things we need to let go of, next up, we're tackling extra bath sponges and loofahs that are just taking up space. Number 12. Hair dye kits. Overstaying welcome, the hair dye kit leftovers. All right, my friends, let's talk about something that might be lurking in your bathroom cabinets. Half-used hair dye kits. If you colour your hair at home, chances are you've got leftover tubes of dye, half-empty developer bottles, and a tiny brush covered in dried product sitting in a box somewhere. Maybe you told yourself, I'll use this for touch-ups later. But let's be honest, how often does that actually happen? Here's the truth. Once a hair dye kit has been opened, the ingredients begin to oxidize. That means by the time you go back to use it, it's probably lost its effectiveness. And if the kit is really old, it could even damage your hair or lead to an uneven color result. Let's keep it simple. If it's been sitting there for months or years, it's time to toss it. Don't keep old developer. It loses strength over time. Keep only what's fresh and usable for your next color session. And let's not forget all those extra gloves, mixing bowls, and plastic capes that came with the kits. If you have more than you need, clear them out. A clutter-free bathroom isn't just about making space, it's about making life easier. And speaking of things that overdo their welcome, next up, we're tackling those extra bath sponges and loofahs that are way past their prime. Number 13. Unused bath. The unused bath products from 5 Christmases ago. Time to let go. All right, my friends, let's talk about those fancy bath sets you've been holding on to for years. You know the ones. Gift baskets filled with lavender-scented lotions, floral bubble baths, and decorative soaps that look too pretty to use. Maybe they came from a well-meaning family member who thought, oh, she'll love this. Or maybe they were part of a holiday gift exchange. Either way, they've been sitting in your bathroom cabinet unopened for years. Here's the question. If you haven't used them by now, will you ever? If they're still sealed and in good condition, donate them. Women's shelters, nursing homes and charities love receiving unused bath products. If they've dried out, changed colour or smell off, they've expired. It's time to toss them. If you feel guilty about getting rid of them, remember, clutter is just postponed decisions. Keeping them won't make you use them, but letting them go will. Free up space for things you actually enjoy. Your bathroom should be a place of relaxation, not a storage unit for unused gifts. So clear them out and let someone else actually enjoy them. All right, we're almost there. Next up, let's talk about extra bath sponges and loofahs that have been hanging around for way too long. Number 14. Loofahs, sponges. The unnecessary loofahs and sponges, a hidden bacteria trap. All right, my friends, let's talk about those loofahs and bath sponges hanging in your shower. You might not think of them as clutter, but if you've got more than you actually use, or if some of them have been hanging around for too long, it's time to take a closer look. Loofahs don't last forever. In fact, according to dermatologists, they trap bacteria, mold, and dead skin cells over time, especially if they stay damp in a humid bathroom. A study from the Journal of Clinical Microbiology found that bath sponges can be a breeding ground for bacteria after just a few weeks of use. Yikes! So let's do a quick loofah check. If it's more than 3 to 4 months old, toss it. It's no longer as effective and might be harbouring bacteria. If you have more than you need, donate or repurpose them. Some sponges could be used for cleaning instead. Consider switching to a washcloth. They're easier to clean and can be thrown in the laundry after each use. A fresh, clean loofah means healthier skin and a fresher bathroom. So take a moment, clear out the extras, and start fresh. And now we've tackled almost everything. But we've got one more big one to go. Those expired face masks and old skincare jars that are just taking up space. Let's finish strong. Number 15. Expired masks. Expired face masks and skincare jars, when beauty becomes a risk. All right, my friends, we've made it to the final clutter culprit in your bathroom. Expired face masks and old skincare jars. Now, I know many of us love a good skincare routine, a nice face mask, a rich night cream. It's all about self-care, right? But here's the thing, skincare products don't last forever. That half-used face mask that's been sitting in your cabinet for over a year, it's probably past its prime. And that expensive jar of anti-aging cream you've been using sparingly to make it last, if it's expired, it's no longer doing you any favours. Skincare products are formulated to be effective for a limited time. Once they expire, they lose their potency. And worse, they can harbour bacteria that can irritate your skin or cause breakouts. Here's how to tell if it's time to toss them. Check expiration dates. Most skincare products have a small symbol on the packaging, a tiny jar with a number inside, like 6M or 12M. That means the product is good for 6 or 12 months after opening. Look for changes in texture, colour or smell. If your cream is separated, smells off or feels different, it's no longer good. If you haven't used it in over a year, ask yourself, will you really use it now? If not, let it go. Using fresh skincare means better results and healthier skin. So don't hold on to expired products. Clear them out and make space for the things you actually use and enjoy. And there you have it, friends, 15 things you absolutely don't need in your bathroom anymore. But don't go just yet, because we're wrapping up with some final thoughts on how to keep your bathroom clutter-free for good. Stay with me. Final thoughts. Creating a serene bathroom space. Well, my friends, we've accomplished a great deal today. We've addressed 15 typical sources of bathroom clutter, and I hope you feel motivated to remove the items that no longer benefit you. Remember, your bathroom should be a sanctuary of tranquility, cleanliness, and comfort. Not a depot for expired skincare products, nearly empty bottles, and neglected hotel freebies. Stepping into a decluttered space should make you feel lighter, more serene, and more in command of your living environment. So, I challenge you. Arm yourself with a trash bag and a donation box and start decluttering today. Don't delay. Make those decisive choices. Rid yourself of unnecessary clutter and revel in the tranquility of a neatly organised bathroom. Your future self will be grateful. And if you found this video useful, please share it with someone who might also benefit from a gentle push to tidy up their bathroom. For more practical tips on decluttering and organising your home, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom and explore my other videos aimed at simplifying your living space, one step at a time. Until we meet again, take care and happy decluttering.